I think writers, and especially aspiring writers, need to be very careful from whom they take advice. When I was a teenager, I knew I wanted to be a writer, so I enrolled in college in the creative writing program. And after 30 years after I got out of it, I was actually able to sell my first book because I'd forgotten everything they taught me. Most creative writing programs teach you how to write beautiful prose. I submitted an old piece to my current publisher, and she said, "This is absolutely the best thing you've ever written, and I can't use one bit of it because it's just boring." When you're going to take a course or anything, especially if you're going to major in it in college, find out what experience and what credentials the teachers actually have to teach you. Because if they've never published a book, as I later found out none of my professors had, how do they know how to teach you to write? What they did was they taught me how to write beautiful language that didn't have a story behind it, and which nobody would ever read, but it sure did sound nice. The other story I can tell you is that during that period, and this was in the 80s when computers didn't exist, so everything was typewriter written. I was working a full-time job, part of it with the man who's actually videoing this, 12 hours a day, and I would come home at night and I would write until 1 or 2 in the morning. And in that time, I produced a 70,000 word novel, which, looking back on it now, was tight, clean, had a lot of really good material in it. And so I submitted it to a local press. Back in the day, there weren't very many, but this one was. It was here in Memphis, Tennessee. And they loved it. The editor just loved it. Just great bill. We're going to take it. We're going to give you this much money as an advance. But he never actually gave me a contract. He did, however, say, "Now, I really like a thick book. So could you expand this?" "I don't know. How much do you want me to add?" "Oh, I don't know. Double would be about good."
Oh, God.
So I was expected, keep in mind now, I'm typing all of this. I had to expand it to 125,000 words, which took 2 years. When I was done, it was kind of a mess because it really wasn't the story but you know, it was big. And so I turned it into him, and he said, "This is exactly what I was looking for. You did exactly what I wanted you to do. Unfortunately, in the interim, we're no longer publishing fiction." So now I had this massive book that had some characters in it I did like, and I really couldn't go back to the earlier version because I knew these people existed, and it just screwed the whole thing up. So be careful who you listen to. There are people out there who want to help you, but not all of them know what they're talking about.
Back in the mid-90s, I was in Borders bookstore, and there were 2 girls stocking shelves, and they said that they didn't think romance writers were very happy people, and I was currently looking at the romance section. And it's like, I told my husband, I said, "Well, I think I'm a pretty happy person myself." So having been part of romance groups over the years and now being published with a romance press, I find romance writers to be incredibly happy people. So I would like to give some advice to the viewing public. Do not judge people by what they read or write. Romance people are happy. Mystery writers do not kill people in real life, and suspense writers are not spies.